Hey everyone, welcome to Breakout Wednesday for May 11, 2022. It's currently about 4 p.m. on the West Coast and 6 p.m. on the East Coast. Got a bit of a head cold. It's not COVID, had a few rats, negative, but definitely have a bit of a head cold at the moment, so you're going to have to bear with me. Here, first of all, remember this is never financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is simply a video blog on how one trader sees the market, and everyone needs to take responsibility for their own decisions. Okay, so let's again with it. The market's obviously just been getting creamed. Massive sell-off. Okay, very similar to the one obviously that happened back here. Okay, and I've drawn this box. I'm not saying it's going to bounce, violently from here like it did last time, but I mean there are a lot of similarities. Hey, really are a lot of similarities. Just blood on the streets, a lot of people panicking, a lot of depressed people around, a lot of news headlines, and okay, not saying it's a long-term low though, okay, because some of the most vicious rallies that you'll ever see happen off lows in, in short-term lows in bear markets, okay, and so it's interesting price action, and it's going to be interesting to see if we can bounce back over the next few weeks, and then see what happens after that. Maybe another leg low, who knows? I have no idea. Now, quickly, just a quick look at some shorts. Some trades from last week. NAN, okay, was the short that I was talking about. Broke down and it was rallied up the last 2 days. Okay, so the amount of that for a small win, and the thing about shorting is that obviously the risk reward is always against you a little bit, because you can get caught short and this thing can go up 100, 200, 300%. Not saying NAN would do that, but certainly some stocks have those capabilities, especially NASDAQ stocks, because this is a great base, okay, to go short from, but it's also a lovely looking base, isn't it? Like if this came up and then sat back in this base and then broke this line, some of the biggest moves happen after a fake out lower, okay? It's like a shakeout. Comes in, catches all these people short, shakes out, bases a bit more, then bang, okay? And then when it breaks out here, you'll get even more people who are caught short, just covering, and then you get in this short squeeze type scenario. So I always keep that in the back of my mind when I'm going long or short, because the same thing happens in reverse when you're going long, right? But I do not stuff around. If these things look like they're going to rally back up here, then I will take my win and move the hell on. Now, the other ones that I'm talking about, KLS, it's just incredible bloody strength, hey? Like, in a market that is been getting absolutely spanked, we have KLS that's just hanging out, giving, not caring, okay? And so KLS is one, and then the other one showing, strength still is CGF, okay? It's just sitting above its moving averages. There's a 30-day moving average here, it's just sitting above it, and has not dumped as much as all of the other stocks, okay? Now, there is, just quickly on this stuff, there's obviously, depends who you listen to and read and blah, 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 but there'll be trend followers out there who say that they will never, ever take a long setup, say from a huge base like this, if the overall market is trending down, okay? They would say the overall market has to be trending up for them to take any individual trade in a stock, okay? And so this is obviously not trending up, it's trending down. So, and it's below its moving averages and blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't really subscribe to that. I'm very selective if we're in a bear market, general bear market, but I will take setups that come along if I think they're exceptional, okay? And it's each of their own. I'm not saying the way I do it's right, but it's certainly worked for me over the years. I remember the GFC, there were some stocks that really did kind of just trend up against the grain, and so it always happens. And if you have the stock picking skills to pick them, then I don't see there's any reason why you can't just take them. So, but that's just me, and each for their own. Now, I was chatting to some people this week about investing versus trading, and how it's hard, and how it's really damn hard. My 90% of all my cash is in my trading account, as I've chatted about before. My trading account is sitting at all-time highs. It has just been a magnificent year for trading. I've had one loss lately, PPM, but not that many other losses over the last month or two, and it's just been good times for trading. And I have so much confidence in the trading, and obviously this was a loss, but my long-term investing stuff has been taking a bath, just like everyone else's long-term investments. Okay, there's no way around that. And the long-term investing account, certainly, if you look at the equity curve of it, it is like all over the shop. Okay, very volatile compared to my trading account, and so that's why I have a minority of a far huge minority of my cash in that account. I don't know why that's not loading. It's super annoying. Sorry, I had to pause then. Yeah, so that's why I have a far minority of cash in, in the long-term investments and majority in the trading account, because I'm obviously a lot more confident in what I've been doing for most of my adult life, right? So, however, my long-term investments are getting creamed. For those who listen regularly, I have positions obviously in gear. I've been in gear for a long time, and I've bought numerous parcels of it, and it's been getting hammered like everything else. And this is like been getting a little bit more hammered, hasn't it? Just getting absolutely drilled. But I have other stuff too. Like I've been in hack for a long time, ages and ages, and I can handle this dump because I've been in it for so long, and I collected all these dividends, and I've compounded the dividends, and blah blah blah. And but it's still getting hammered, isn't it? And it's really hard because human nature, you're just waking up on these days and shit, you just want to kind of panic like everybody else. But I just walk away. My computer doesn't even. I just don't even look at it. I just think, shit, this has happened. I've been through this so many times. It just happens, and these things eventually bounce. And I've accepted. And then, but the hard thing is, I think, is that there's all this conflicting advice. Like people look at famous, like some of the most famous investors ever, like Peter Lynch, Buffett. These guys kind of recommend marrying yourself to stocks and ideas and companies and that you love their products, and just marrying to them and never selling and always buying more, and they're getting dumped and dollar cost averaging and picking them up when you can and blah blah blah. And then you have other guys like Stan Weinstein and Mark Minervini and blah blah blah, and who would never hold on to anything as it's falling out of a stage 3 top into a stage 4 decline, like I talked about last week. And it's hard for people to know, who do I listen to, what do I do? And I don't have the answers. I just think that it's each of their own. This works for me, but I'm only 40. I'm pretty open-minded. I might get massively spanked at some stage with the long-term investments, but I recovered from the GFC, and I've got belief in it, and it works for me, and I can sleep at night with it. But the majority of the money is in trading accounts that I can control and get stopped out of very quickly. Okay, shit, that's enough of that. I didn't mean to crap on like that for so long. And let's just get into some setups now. There aren't like any super clean setups at all, and there will be soon. But there's not right now. But there's certainly some stuff that I'm watching. Like, unfortunately, I'm watching some coal stocks that really haven't been hammered like the rest of the market for obvious reasons. And let's just get so this is YAL. Okay, came down, didn't even reach its 50 moving average. It just starts bouncing off. Okay, it's 20, and it's just not that far off all-time highs. I'd love that to tighten more, but yeah, I mean, the coal stocks are strong. What's going on here? Shit. NHC, likewise, I mean, I want that to tighten more too. And then the oil stocks are they're a bit loose here, aren't they? Like basing up here a bit loose. I'd love all these to tighten up a little bit, but certainly just obviously showing huge relative strength to the rest of the market, right? And let's just move on to some others. I was hoping AAC wasn't going to break out today. It did. Massive move. This thing has been just setting up for weeks and weeks now, and obviously it's an agricultural stock, and they're kind of strong around the world, a bit like coal, and so AAC's been setting up, and it's a bit late. I'm still on that one. Okay, now don't rip into me, but I am not yet watching. I'm not yet in AMP or intending to be in it soon, but I am just looking at it from a long-term perspective. Okay, this does need more sideways grinding, 100%. This is just ignore the blue line, just look at the red one. It's 30 week moving average. Okay, this needs more base in. Okay, we've got a nice base forming. I want this to come down, just base for another few months if I can. It's on the watch list though, and for a potential stage 1 bottom. Okay, and however shit the company AMP is, and however much people hate it and don't trust it, we've been here before with turnaround companies that have done wrong by the world and by the country and let people down and all that sort of stuff. Let's not talk too much about AMP, but but a lot of these companies do turn around eventually once their stock price and everything gets hammered enough, and then they have a chance to turn themselves around and they base for long enough, then they can give technical signals, and I'll totally take it. So AMP I'm watching. APX, I'm watching for a short. Okay, massive dump here. Look at that. Okay, if that was a long setup, a bit like the one I talked about last week in AN, it would be, people would be just, frothing, wouldn't they? Over that long setup and a short setup, and but likewise, I just bear in mind that this is, this could dump, like if the market turns south again. I mean, and this breaks lower, this could just totally, absolutely fall like a rock. However, it also has, this congestion and tightness, and probably sucking a lot of shorts in, and if it dips down just a little bit and just sucks a few shorts in, turns around and breaks out here, this could just be a massive long as well. So just always analyzing both sides, especially because the market has already dumped. Like look at this market, like it's already dumped, and it just feel like loading up this second on too many shorts is kind of a bit late to the party, isn't it? There's been some fabulous shorts, and over the last kind of month and a few weeks, especially 3 weeks really, but it feels like taking too many shorts now, there's a pretty high chance you're going to get whipped in a massive market rally. So I'm being careful, but if the market starts dumping again, I will consider APX. HCD, wild, crazy stock, penny stock on the ASX that's base in here, and it's got two goes up above at 38, and that needs longer to base, but I'm just watching it. It's an exciting stock that could just rocket and explode higher, couldn't it? So watching that needs to base longer though. This is just not a very long base. And I always like, if I think, it's a base long enough, just go back to some of the best trades like FHE, look how long this thing based for. And sometimes I just count the candles just to remind myself. I'll just go through and count it. I think there's 20 something candles in there, but and then you go back to HCD, and it's just a very simplistic way, but it works. Just remind, because it's easy to look at something like that and get super excited and just okay, I'm going to trade it, and then and then you sit back and think, hey, actually, like this isn't really a very big base, and probability speaking, is there actually any edge in that? Like if that breaks out tomorrow, is there any edge there? I'd say probably not. It's probably just like a lottery dip, 50-50 bet, or a lot worse, or maybe a bit worse than 50-50, and I need a longer base to have some edge. And let's move it on. The other thing I'm looking at is Asia. Now this is still kind of below its key moving averages, but it is showing relative strength. It has not been dumping with the overall NASDAQ, and it's obviously all its dumping had already kind of been done, and now it's putting this triple bottom, and if we just look at Barber, it's done it too. And so I'm not saying I'm getting in this yet, because I'm not. And this is the stock for those who have been around that I was in for a long time, as it was going through this huge trend, and then I was dollar cost averaging a bit here, and I took baths on these dollar cost averagings up here, but obviously I did well from all the stuff down there. So I'm not, I had kind of written Asia off, and I'm kind of emotionally getting over that as I get over the loss that I had from these new positions up there. And you can't let past losses turn you off an investment. That's not or a trade. It's just it's got nothing to do with it. That's what such emotion should have no part in decision making. So I'm looking at Asia again. If it can keep basing, I'd love it to get I'd love it to base a lot longer. This is a 30-week moving average. This ideally needs to come down, flatten, go sideways for ages. So this is months away. Legit for me to take that, it's months away, but I just want to talk about it. And then a little stock on the ASX, FOD, the Food Revolution Group. I do not care about what they do really. I just like this technical pattern here, and a massive, it's pretty a liquid stock, but we had massive volume come in here on this day. We've got clear resistance that dates back here to 12th of October. And and obviously it's pretty clean setup. Hey, so I'm definitely watching FOD for a break now. That is kind of it in terms of setups. I just want to quickly talk about Bitcoin, but I want to do some stage analysis of it. And so obviously this is a 30-week. This is a weekly chart, 30-week moving average, and we're obviously in a stage 4, right? And back here, this was me hoping that we were bottoming out. We had this rally, I thought it was, and then it hits this 30-week and comes back down again. And if we look at this Bitcoin over history, okay, it has been around for longer than people actually think it has. But let's just look at these retracements here. We are very extended below that 200 200 week, really, I mean 30 week, sorry guys. And here's this bear market, okay, that went on for 2 years, I think, and you know, it had some massive rallies within that where it would rally back up to the 200 weeks. God, sorry guys, 30 week. Like if you look here at just this period on a weekly chart, just have a look at it rallying up to its 30 week, rallied up to it, rallied, just stayed below it, and then dump down, and then anyway, yeah, who knows? I have long term holds on ETH and BIT, and it's painful. You know, there's no way around that. Sometimes I think, as I was chatting before, it would have been nice to just trade them, but I've been in them for a while, and you know, I'm pretty happy to just sit back and just have those investments. Okay, take care, everyone. Cheers, bye.